Hey guys, welcome to Glenn's Car Collection International Headquarters. You're about to see part 2 of the S54 M Coupe versus the GLA 45 AMG comparison test. Hope you enjoy it. Please remember to like this video. Please remember to leave a positive comment when the video is finished. And be sure to share these videos so we can grow our channel. Thanks again for your support. This channel is only possible with you guys. Thanks again. All right, we're inside the GLA 45. Let's start her up. And again, new car. This is a 2015, so push button start. This car has 3,400 miles on it, as opposed to the M Coupe's 52,000. And again, you have all the important gauges here. I have winter tires on right now, so you're just going to see that. I don't have TMPS sensors in those winter tires, and that's why you see that flash. That'll stop in a few moments. You have your temperature control, except here it's in Celsius, and we're in the United States. Here you have your gas. Again, small tank in this car too. 13 some odd gallons of gas. Speedometer goes to 200. I know that's not the top speed of the car. I think everybody wants to see a 200-mile-an-hour speedometer. So there you go. And again, there's all kinds of menus you can go through here to change what you want in the car. So here we're averaging certainly better miles to the gallon than the M Coupe is, with over 20 miles to the gallon. What do we have here? 20.4. I usually, because it's harder to read this gauge because the numbers are close together, especially you're probably only going to use from 70 to 0 anyway, just a small portion of that gauge. I usually have it in front of me here, front and center. Okay, and I like the M Coupe. That's basically a sport mode all the time car. You have comfort mode, sport mode. Those two shift for you with this dual clutch transmission. And then I usually drive in manual mode, which actually also relaxes the stability control and traction control. Again, you have all the minor conveniences in this car. Harman Kardon stereo, great stereo system, very good Mercedes command navigation, heated seats, air conditioning. This car is a sunroof delete car, so there's no sunroof, unlike the M Coupe, though I've never used it in the M Coupe. And we're actually going to put, we're in sport mode now. I'm going to put in manual mode, where you have to shift. If I hit that 6,000 RPM red line, there'll actually be fuel cut off. So it won't just be a rev limiter, it'll be a hard fuel cut off, and you'll kind of go forward in your seat there. So it does rev fast for a turbo motor. Now this motor in the Mercedes is, as far as being a gem of a motor, I would say this motor has the M2 beat, this 2-liter 4-cylinder single turbo twin scroll motor. Stock, it runs at 26.5 pounds of boost, and the horsepower is roughly 175 per liter, a little over that, 180 per liter, which makes it the most powerful 4-cylinder ever made, even though it's a blown motor. So this motor will go toe for toe for the S54, even though that's an NA motor. And again, you don't have the 8,000 RPM red line, you have the 6,200, but this motor is certainly a gem, and it's definitely got the M2 beat as far as a motor goes. So let's take it for a ride and compare it with the M Coupe. Let's take the GLA out for a spin. We're going to drive here in manual mode, which actually there's 3 settings on the stability control. It's the most lenient setting. With the dual clutch transmission in manual mode, you have to actually shift. You'll get to fuel cut off if you don't shift at red line, which is about 6,200 RPM. Some real good turns up here that we'll take the car through. And again, this is the most powerful 4-cylinder. Right now it's a blown engine, but got 180 horsepower per liter. And obviously made it to this 7-speed dual clutch. It's really a gem. Would it be better if it was a stick shift? Probably. Would it be better if it was in a rear-wheel drive car, like the M Coupe? Probably. But you see, we're really flying through the turns. If we had a race on a racetrack between this and the M Coupe, I think this car would win. It's just, it's really flawless. And again, if you say you have an M Coupe or maybe an M Coupe is your dream car. If you want to get as close to that in a daily driver, I think this is a good choice. You have a very high-strung engine, like the S54 and the M Coupe. This is a hatchback just like that car. It's got some advantages, though it's not going to be a collectible car like the M Coupe. You can certainly fit 4 adults in the back. You can fit all your gear in the hatchback. And again, it's a little, certainly apples to oranges, because this is an all-wheel drive car. It's a dual clutch transmission, not a stick shift. But if you want a fun daily driver that reminds you of the M Coupe, I think this really does it. This engine beats the M2 engine, this high-strung engine. Reminds me of the S54. So one big advantage the GLA has over the M Coupe is a ton of acceleration down low, because it's a turbocharged motor. Even off the line, especially with the all-wheel drive, it really can take off like a rocket. So going up that hill, if I was doing it in the M Coupe, to have acceleration up that steep hill, I'd really have to rev the motor out, get up to the 6, 7, 8,000 RPM to get the power that this car has at 2,000 RPM. So, you know, in real world driving situations, I mean, I love normally aspirated engines, but, you know, everyday situations, there's certainly an advantage to have a turbocharged motor. It gives you the torque that you need down low, and especially with these paddle shift transmissions now, these dual clutches, you can really keep it in the rev band. So on this GLA, the power is really from 3,000 to 6,000. This dual clutch easily, with just clicking buttons, I can keep it in that 3 to 6 power band the whole time. That won't be the best, of course, for gas mileage, but you'll have a ton of power everywhere. I would take a manual over a dual clutch any day, but I can tell you this dual clutch is very good. It's a revised dual clutch from Mercedes. It's basically the same one you find in the CLA 45, but this is the 2015 version, which is upgraded. It's actually based on the original dual clutch transmission that's in the SLS AMG. Oh, is that a cop? Yep. Hey, police officer. This car is actually pretty stiff. It is stiffer than the M Coupe, that's for sure. So with these low profile tires, it has 19s. The M Coupe actually has 17 standard, but mine has aftermarket wheels with 19-inch wheels, 265 30s. This is, we have snow tires on it now, so we're riding on 18s. But with the stock wheels, which is the smallest size, 19s, it is pretty stiff. You can even get optional 20 inches on this GLA 45, which honestly I think is way too stiff. You know, this car we're driving in manual mode, so the shifters are a little stiffer, but we can drive in comfort mode, which we will now because we're in traffic, and it drives a lot smoother. Now let's compare it to the M Coupe. You really can't compare a 2001 sports car with a 2015 AMG, but we're going to try to do just that. So if you really love the M Coupe and the hatchback and the visceral nature, and you want to stand out, I think this is a great car. It will sell a lot of AMGs, a lot of C63 AMGs, a lot of E63 AMGs, certainly a ton of CLA 45 AMGs, but I have yet to see another GLA 45 AMG. It's a pretty rare car, at least now. I think they've only sold a couple hundred so far in the United States. I'm sure that's well below what they want to sell. I'm sure they want to sell a couple thousand, but you know, at the end of the day, not too many people need a $65,000 AMG hatchback. And I think even though this is a phenomenal car, the new price hurts it. If you can get one of these in the 50,000 range, and again, let's use that same price point with the M Coupe, say they're both worth 55,000, I think this is a phenomenal car. Now, this isn't a collectible car like the M Coupe is. You're probably, I think you could track this car with the proper tires, and you put our compound tires, I think you could certainly do it. I think it's that good on the handling of a car. And then with the dual clutch transmission, it's basically, you can't miss a shift on the track. So I think you actually could track this car. So if you needed a family car, you can fit 4 adults in the back, unlike the CLA, and of course the M Coupe, you can't fit any adults in the back. So here you can fit your whole family or all your friends, drive this every day. It's all-wheel drive, so it's phenomenal handling. I have winter tires on it right now. You can really use this car as an everyday car, and you can do some track on the weekends if you wanted to. I don't think there's really going to be any GLA 45s at the track, but you could do it. Now the M Coupe has the advantage, obviously, it's a stick shift and it's rear-wheel drive, so it's a more visceral car. What we're kind of comparing here is the price point, and both cars have a lot of utility because they're hatchbacks. The M Coupe certainly has a ton of collector value, and it's going to go up in value, but if you can't afford the M Coupe, or you can't have you really want a car that you could just drive every day, I think this is a great alternative. Even if you have an M Coupe in your garage right now, you want to kind of recreate the experience of driving an M Coupe every day worry-free, I would get one of these. Now, it's not exactly the same because it's all-wheel drive, but you can really make this, take the same back roads you took in your M Coupe, and also go to the grocery store and go to the track and take this to work every day. The good thing about this car, it's kind of incognito. Maybe if you had it in bright red or something, it's different, but in the black, you know, all your co-workers are just going to think you bought a crossover, and you know, I take this to work, and the people at work probably wouldn't even think it's my car because to them it looks like a crossover. But this is really like the modern day daily driver version of an M Coupe. So is it an M Coupe? No. But you can certainly use this car every day. If you know, you're really looking for an M Coupe, I think you can get close to creating the experience in this car, even on an everyday basis. So what we'll do now is we'll make our conclusion of the two cars. Alright guys, we're coming to the conclusion of the video now, the GLA 45 and the S54 M Coupe. So we learned the similarities to the cars, we learned the differences. I think obviously the obvious conclusion is this, right? This is the daily driver, this is the weekend fun car. They could probably both be track cars with proper tires. You put nice R compounds on this, it probably would make a formidable track car, and with the dual clutch it's foolproof. You don't have to worry about shifting and missing a shift. This would certainly be a more visceral experience. This is certainly the collector car, the car that's going to appreciate in value. Let's say right this second, a slightly used 2015 and an 01 with 52,000 miles is worth the same, roughly 55,000. This, your money will grow if you buy the M Coupe. You won't be able to use it as an everyday car, but it'll be a collector car, which I think will be a $100,000 car one day, even if it's 10 years from now. This is the time to buy it, not once it becomes a $100,000 car, where this will depreciate because it's meant to be used as a daily driver. But I guess the whole point of this comparison is this is probably the best of both worlds. Here's your daily driver, pick up the kids from school, drive the family around. This is your weekend mountain road car. Either one of these could be your track car, and I think you have the best of both worlds with both cars. So thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe and share these videos, and we appreciate your support.